Okay, I'm replacing the rear wheel bearing on the brake side of a 2019 Honda Foreman electric shift. I looked for some videos and there was no videos on YouTube about it, and so I decided to work on it and make a video, so it'd be kind of helpful. First thing we got to do is take the tire off. I got the tire off, and then we take this cotter pin out and take the castle nut off, and then the hub right here slides off, and then we can get to the brakes and all right here, and this is the brake dust cover is what this is. And then once we get this off, the brake drum itself is inside, and then we pull that off, and these are also a 8mm, and this is a 30mm socket. And then we have to replace or loosen all these right here for your brakes, and then after that you gotta come to the back side. Let's see if we can get a good shot of it. There's these 4 bolts here with nuts on them down there, and loosen them up, and that was a 17mm. I believe it's a 17mm. I'll have to double check that and make sure I'm right. And then this whole assembly comes off right here. The whole brake assembly comes off. And then your bearing is inside the brake assembly right here. And then it just, mine was pretty easy to pop out. It actually came out pretty easy, but my recommendation is that don't wait too long to replace this one. If you hear it starting to make noise, or see, mine started making some squeaking noises, so I knew that it had to be replaced. So I went ahead and done it, but if you wait too long, that bearing comes apart. I can see how it would be pretty difficult to get out. So try not to wait too long. And but mine came out pretty easy. And then I used another socket to pop it back in, a big socket, and it goes around the ring itself, and it pops back in. And then there's a little basically a little pin that you have to, a little washer you have to squeeze together, and pull out the washer that holds the bearing in itself, and then replace also on this side, replace the seal itself on this side, and then you just reassembly. I actually had already done it, so that's why I'm trying to make a little video on it. Maybe it'll help someone. And I need to make sure what size socket that was. I'm pretty sure it was 17. I'll pull this one real quick. No, it wasn't. Let's see. It might have been. actually. Yeah, it's a 14. It's a 14 millimeter. Here's all the tools that I used. Kind of give you an idea. I used impact. It helps with the castle nut and all that. Makes it a little easier. This is the 30 millimeter for the castle nut. This is the 17 millimeter for the lug nuts. You'll need some pliers to help with that Carter key, and just put it in and out, pull it on and off. And this is the 14 millimeter for the back of the brake assembly. And then you got a 1/4 inch wrench and a 8 millimeter socket, and that is for the brake dust cover. I believe there's 6 screws you have to take out. And then this the flat-headed screwdriver I used to help take the dust cover off. It's a little tight, so you just got there's little holes there on the sides. You can just pry and it'll pull it right off. And then the sledgehammer I used to obviously bang the bearings in and out. And this is the socket that I used to beat it back in with. It's an 1 7/8. And this is the old bearing. See, I'll show you. It fits right over the outside ring, so you can beat it in and out. I'll beat it in. I had to use a little bit smaller one to beat it out with, and I don't have it right now. Not sure what size it was. See, that was 1 7/8. Must have. I bet it was 1 3/16. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. But either way, just try a couple of these, smaller sockets than this one, and it'll pop out. As long as you don't wait as long as, so it doesn't it's still together. Like I said, I could see how it would be a little difficult to get it out. So that's the rear brake replacement wheel bearing. So it's on the rear side. It's a single axle on the rear. That's pretty much it. Let's see. And again, it's a 2019 Honda Foreman. Electric shift. Man, it's a good four-wheeler. I like the Honda. I'll give you a quick review on it as I'm doing this. Let's see, the things I like. Well, first thing is the Honda reliability. It's you get on it and it starts and goes and it does good. I don't really have too many complaints about it at all. It's 500. Let's see, the only tiny complaint I would say is that it has a little bit lack of power. But you go from, I'm talking as far as the size it is compared to other four-wheelers, it's basically the same. Now you can get up to the 650s or the 850s, Can-Ams or Polaris and all them. I mean, they're considerably more power, but they also they don't have as good, I shouldn't say no, they don't have as good reliability as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion, from what I've seen anyway. And I haven't personally owned one, but I've just watched others, and first thing that usually goes is their belts. They don't last that long. Of course, I'd say it may depend on how you rode it, but you get a machine like that, and they're actually made for riding or mud. XMRs. You would think they'd last a little longer on the belts, but they don't last quite as long as my opinion. They should last a little longer than that. But I mean, that's just belt driven. I'm not too fond of the belt driven period. So that's the reason I really went for Honda, was the reliability. I can get on it and go hunting and go out in the middle of the woods and not have worries that it's not going to start or it's not going to run and get me out of the woods. So that's really why I went with the Honda. So, and it does good in the mud. It does pretty good in the mud. I mean, it's on stock still, stock rims and tires. But it does good especially for going out there and hunting and also having a good time just trail riding and playing in the mud. And so that's my opinion. That's my quick review. It's a real quick one. But anyways, thank you for watching, and like and subscribe. Thank you.